Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, you folks, I'm putting a video series of videos I do for the Wano. We're over there to try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that at the time I'm doing this, folks, not going to lie, I might get a bit Scottish with this one, but we'll see how it goes. It'll tie in. But while I'm not doing that at the moment, I got a Peter Can Thunderbolt poster behind me. I got a crappy old ladder off to the side. I got a bunch of Marvel figures up there. It's a whole thing. And, folks, I'm wearing a cool shirt. When I wear a cool shirt, I like to highlight the shirt. What cool shirt am I wearing? Boom! This is my If You Are Thinking, You Are Winning shirt, which I think personally is a great motto, but it's also a band shirt for the band Flowbots, who, if you're not familiar, in like the sort of like late to mid-aughts, had a bit of a run. They had a big song called Handlebars, which is actually off a really excellent album. It's a shame that they didn't gain greater exposure. I refer to them as being sort of an artisanal hip-hop group. I absolutely love these guys. I was fortunate enough to see them last year, which is actually where I got the shirt. It's also where I went over there and took a few videos of that performance, which happen to be on this very channel, just in case you're interested. But yeah, I've had this shirt for a while. I don't know if I've worn this shirt in a review, except for like in this session. I did one video that I just did with it before this one, so, but I like this shirt. Anyway, also, I gotta mention my bracelet. Bracelet here is made by a dude named China McCoy. He's an actor, stuntman, comic book artist. Like the guy just does all kinds of stuff, and on top of that, he also makes these as a side thing. He's an extremely good dude. If you happen to be interested at all, let me know in the comments. I can go over there and get you in touch with him. They're pretty nifty. I like them. Anyway, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? What are we doing? All right. Well, as I went over there and tried to do a not very good Scottish accent, I can do Irish better than Scottish. But this isn't an Irish drink. And actually, I'm glad I looked it up because I thought it was Irish. Because, no, folks, we're doing Scotland's national drink. Second national drink. Boom! Iron Brew. Some Iron Brew. It's very Scottish, you see. Freedom! I'm sorry to everyone in Scotland. I apologize to everyone in Scotland. That was terrible. Maybe I'll work on my Scottish accent if I decide to go over there and review more Scottish stuff. But yes, folks, this is Iron Brew, which is it's a very popular carbonated beverage in Scotland. In fact, it has a unique distinction in that it's one of the very few marketplaces where it directly competes with Coca-Cola and actually outsells it. I believe it's also the third most popular, I looked up some Wikipedia stuff, third most popular soft drink in like the whole of the UK and everything, so it's doing alright for itself, folks. It's very orange. Now, I'm going to preface this just by saying this. I have had Iron Brew before at one point in time. It was years ago. I genuinely do not recall exactly where I got it from. I got this one from a place called Rocket Fizz, which is in St. Charles, Illinois. If you happen to be going through the area, if you're interested in soda or unique candies, please stop in. I've tried some of their other stuff before, but they're mostly a specialty soda store. Specialty soda! So when I saw that they had this in stock, I had to give it a go. I do not remember what the hell this tastes like. I think I liked it at the time. We're going to find out if I still do. And then I do have to mention, I believe this is the modified recipe version. They had to go over there and change the recipe due to like sugar tax laws in the UK. So I believe this is not the original one. So well, let's give it a shot, folks. Let's see who the Iron Brew is. So sorry, Scottish people. Scottish people are over there. They're just like, what the hell, man? Come on, Braveheart was years ago. No, it just still a good movie. I mean, Mel Gibson's problematic, but, you know. Okay. Doesn't smell bad, but here's the thing. It smells familiar. It smells familiar. Familiar, but not entirely the same. Interesting. So, right out the bat, It reminds me a little bit of the the two things it reminds me closest of. The closest thing it reminds me of, and I actually did a review of it years ago. This is well, I shouldn't say like years ago because I've only been doing the sampler platter for like a little over 2 years. Yeah, but like one of my first reviews was for a drink called Cola Champagne, or like it's like Cola Champagne. It's I believe it's mostly like a is it Mexican or South American? I want to say it's Mexican maybe. Um, I'd see it at Mexican store, so I'm guessing it's probably Mexican. It's a Mexican soft drink, and this is very similar in color and in taste. The other thing it reminds me a little bit of is like a Big Red soda, which if you're not familiar, Big Red, it's a red cream soda, so it's different than like a typical cream soda. It's got a little bit more. It's got a little bit more of a uniqueness to it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that, but it has like a little bit more of a harshness to it, which I think sets it apart from either of those things. But it's definitely very similar. Um, in fact, I would say if you're interested in trying it, and you, for whatever, if you just don't have it available to you, if you happen to have a Mexican supermarket near you, look for this stuff called Cola Champagne or Cola Champagne or something like that. I would say give those a shot. Like, what's the other one I did? I don't know, man. I've done so many freaking things I can't remember anymore. Um, but I would say that's a pretty close approximation, even though, like I said, it's not a one-to-one by any means. The taste is really hard to describe, though, um, because it doesn't. Like I can say, like I said, oh, it tastes like a Cola Champagne or what have you. But if you haven't experienced that, it's hard to take that in. Um, like I said, the closest thing that I think would be a little bit more available to some people would be again something like a Big Red, but it definitely doesn't taste like a Big Red. It has like a. This is gonna sound bad, but I don't mean it in a bad way. It almost has like a rusty taste to it. Like instead of being like with Big Red, like instead of being like Big Red's a very sweet soda, instead of being as sweet as that, it kind of dials itself back a little bit on the sweetness, and it has like a little bit of a harshness to it. Um, and then as far as like just the base flavor is concerned, I don't know, like almost like a weird orange, like well, I was gonna say if you mixed orange soda and cream soda, but there's orange cream soda too. Um, because it doesn't taste orange exactly, but almost a little bit citrusy, but not like a proper citrus soda. It's a unique experience. Like I do like it. Um, it would never. I'll say this: it would never, for me, be my third favorite carbonated beverage. It wouldn't even be in my top 10. I don't even know if it would be in my top 20. But I do like it. Like it's I appreciate the fact that even if it's not my favorite beverage that I've ever had, it's definitely unique. Even if there are at least semi-similar products to it available, um, it is unique. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's cool that it's like Scotland's soda. That's a cool thing. Um, and yeah, I mean it's like I said, it's good. It's just not. It's not exactly what I'm personally geared towards as a soda fan, but that doesn't mean that I dislike it. It's just, like I said, it's not going to be my personal favorite. But I do think it's interesting, and I do think that if you can get a hold of it, well, because two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it to other people? Yes and yes. I would go over there, if I were popping off at Rocket Fizz, this wouldn't be an every time thing. Usually I'll get like a 6-pack of different sodas. Uh, this wouldn't be like a go-to. Like I always have a root beer. I always get a root beer. Even if it's a different brand or something, I always get a root beer. This would not be an every time thing. This I would say 1 out of 10 maybe. because every so often, this is something I would want to go back for, and I would want to have the experience again, because I do like it. It's just, again, not exactly to my preferences. But I like that it's an option for me. And then in terms of recommendation, yeah, I would absolutely give it a recommendation. If I don't think it's going to be for everybody. I will say that. I think especially, it falls kind of more in the lines, to a certain extent, of kind of older style sodas, in that, like, it doesn't taste like a Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper or anything like that. But it kind of has this thing where it's like, it's a weird taste, and it doesn't care if it's weird, if that makes any sense. Like, with Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola has become such a, universally accepted taste. We all just kind of go with it. But if you break it down, Coca-Cola is a weird taste by, like, most palates, with what they're used to going off of. Cola is a difficult taste to describe. It's an old-timey soda, that's made it into modern days. This kind of reminds me of that, in that it's like, it's weird, but again, it just doesn't care. You either like Iron Brew or you don't, and it doesn't give a fuck. It'd like you to, but it's not going to give a shit. So, to the fine people of Scotland, I commend you on your beverage. Like I said, it's not going to replace any of my favorites, but I do like it, and I do think it's cool, like I said, that you guys have. Not only do you guys have your own soda that manages to go toe-to-toe with Coca-Cola, I think that's really neat, but then on top of it, I love the name. Like, just, it's cool, and it screams Scottish. Like, even when I thought it was Irish, okay? Like I said at the beginning, I thought this was an Irish drink. I remember, like, trying to pronounce the BRU in, like, with an accent. And I was like, it feels more Scottish than Irish. That's actually why I went over there and looked it up, just to be sure. Because I'm like, I might want to get this right. But yeah, like I said, I am down with this personally. Do you have caffeine? I do know, if I'm not mistaken, I think, like, there's still some debate about some of the colorings that they use. I don't know if they've resolved that or not yet, but I don't know if it's carbonated or I don't know if it's caffeinated. But like I said, I like it. Anyway, folks, that's going to do for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year, and folks, if you could go over there and have yourselves a truly Scottish rest of your life, because you Scotland and kilts and Braveheart and such. I don't know a lot about Scotland. I apologize, Scotland. I feel so bad, because, like, I feel like Scottish people, like, it's, every country has, like, cool things about it, and stuff, and, history and things, and I just haven't gotten to Scotland yet, so. But anyway, final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity to the world as long as possible. It is, however, always appreciated, but we can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time, folks. Here's what you do. You try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, the people of Scotland, they've got Iron Brew to go over there and help them not be assholes. Because if they're over there and they find themselves in a situation where they might be, perhaps gearing towards assholishness on something, they can go over there, grab themselves an Iron Brew. I'm going to keep saying it like that. And they can go over there and down that, and now they feel better because they have a delicious drink to go over there and try. But we can't always just have an Iron Brew around us at all given times. So when we run into those situations, we have to try to mitigate the assholishness in our lives and hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there and you're going to get yourself some Iron Brew. You're going to try it and you're going to like it. That's what you're going to do. But then maybe you go over there and you're like, you know what? Maybe I got some Scottish roots. You do some ancestry or some, I don't know, one of those genealogical things. Turns out you got some Scottish ancestry. You make your way back to, back to the motherland and the Scottish, the scenery and all the stuff. And, it's a wonderful time. Maybe they make you mayor of a village for some reason. I don't know. I guess I don't know a lot about Scotland. But at the very least, you get to hang out with cool Scottish folks and take in the culture and stuff. Or conversely, you could just go over there and, well, if you can't get Iron Brew, you could probably just go over there and, like I said, try the Cola Champ and stuff that, like I said, pretty much every Mexican supermarket I've ever been in has. You can try that. It's pretty good. Bye.